Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you all can hear me. Please reply via chat box. Welcome to agricultureinformation.com webinar. Today we are going to interact with Mr. Dr. Prashant Bhatt on setting up of tissue culture labs and developing tissue culture plants. The format of the webinar will be as follows. I'll mute everyone in the audience except Mr. Prashant Bhatt. Then Mr. Prashant will make his presentation, and after we listen to him, we can ask him our questions, and you can ask your questions by typing in chat box in GoToMeeting, or you can also email me at ed@agricultureinformation.com. I repeat, ed@agricultureinformation.com. Then I'll forward the questions sent by you. And if we have time, I may unmute one or two members in the audience so that you can directly talk with Mr. Prashant. Mr. Prashant, I am unmuting you now and I am making you the presenter.
Hello.
Hello. Yes, sir. You can start your presentation.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome from Sun Agrigenetics Private Limited. I am Dr. Prashant Bhatt. I thank you, agricultureinformation.com, for giving this opportunity to interact on setting up of a tissue culture business. Our company is located in Vadodara, Gujarat. We have established a laboratory since 1999. We started with a very small setup in a rented room, one room in the kitchen, and had only a single laminar hood. Over the last 13 years, we have now set up into a big laboratory of 7,000 square feet with about 70 employees in the company. Our company is accredited with R&D Center of DSIR, New Delhi, as well as NCS TCP recognition. In brief, I and my wife, Dr. Prashant Bhatt, we jointly started this venture. Prior to that, we had a good academic experience. About our activity, you will find more on our website, sunagri.in. Basically, we are producing plants only for the domestic market. Our products include variety of banana, potato, sweet potato, then two cucurbitaceous vegetable called trichocenthus and coccinia, in fruit, lemon, fig, and rootstocks of temperate plants like walnut. Besides tissue culture plants, we also undertake research on a contractual basis from private as well as from public-private participation from the Department of Biotechnology. We also produce a variety of seedling plum. On an average, our production of tissue culture plants is close to 2 million, whereas the seedling plug is around 3 million. Seedling plugs are mainly of the hybrid vegetable, capsicum, tomato, brinjal, chili, bottle gourd, watermelon, like that. We also produce organic manure using banana waste as well as chelated micronutrient for our customers. Therefore, we have a variety of products to cater our customers. Recently, we have started exporting our plants to African country as well as to United States. However, we still feel that the Indian market for the tissue culture plants is very big and very vibrant. Thank you. I will appreciate questions.
Okay. So would you like to throw more lights on setting up of tissue culture plant?
Laboratory, if at all one wants to set up, then the volume should be at least 2 million plants per annum. Such laboratory, the building, equipments, greenhouse and nursery will cost around 2 to 2.5 crore rupees. This does not include the cost of land. It will require a power of 50 kilowatt with a standby generator. All the equipments are available indigenously. Such a laboratory will be able to generate revenue around 2 to 2.5 crore per annum.
Okay.
A smaller unit are generally not very viable, and I generally suggest that a well-experienced tissue culturist with a commercial experience can venture into this type of business. And the volume that one should start would be at least 1 million tons per annum.
Okay.
He should be well versed with the variety of production technology. In tissue culture business, the hardware are not very difficult to procure, but it is the management of working capital is very, very crucial. That is because the demand of plant is very seasonal and you have to tune up your working capital to meet such requirement. Otherwise, your plant will be produced when there is no demand. Either they will be produced before or they are produced later. In that case, the management of working capital becomes very difficult.
Okay. So when starting with setting up tissue culture plant, ideally which variety of plant should be grown in order to have less risk for loss?
Banana. At the moment, banana is the most reproducible product and even with a very little risk. And the volume of banana is also very large.
Okay.
And therefore, there should not be difficulty in selling the plants.
Okay. What are the types of banana?
Generally in market all over India, brand name, William and Robusta are in demand.
Okay.
But there are also local varieties of each state. Like in Maharashtra, there is a Safed Vilchi. In Karnataka, there is an Eleki banana. Then in a northeast, there are hill banana. So these are the local variety, which also requires an attention, and there is a good demand for such plants.
Okay. And so what is the difference between normally grown and the tissue culture banana?
The tissue culture banana do not have a reserve in their stem. Therefore, when you plant tissue culture banana, the agronomy is little different than the sucker derived banana. A tissue culture banana requires a very good nutrient management in first 3 to 4 months of their growth. Whereas in sucker, the sucker itself has a reserve of about a kilogram of reserve food. So even if you give nutrient little later, about 2 to 3 months, the reserve food is able to sustain the growth of plant. This is the most important part in agronomy of tissue culture plant versus suckers,
Okay.
traditional plant.
So what can be the minimum investment required for setting up the tissue culture lab?
As I told you, a minimum 1 million plant laboratory capacity, if you do not include the cost of land, will require about 1.5 to 2 crore rupees
Okay.
of investment.
Then sir, what would be the break-even point on this investment made?
The break-even point is little difficult because what salary you pay to your employee and at what level you are borrowing the money. But if you consider that you are borrowing money from bank and with 30% of your equity, then about 60%, 50 to 60% should be the break-even.
Okay. And what one can expect the rate of return?
Rate of return, if you follow these calculations, then rate of returns are at least 30%.
Okay. And so which plants are the profitable project for tissue culture plant other than the G9 variety of banana?
As you can see from our website, we produce variety of banana, not only banana, we produce potato, we produce cucurbitaceous vegetable. In fruits, we produce fig, lemon, pineapple, rootstocks of temperate plants. Therefore, we have a variety of products in tissue culture. This is because myself and another technical director, Dr. Prashant Bhatt, both are well experienced in this tissue culture with a long research and commercial experience, led by a research fund from Department of Biotechnology, Government of India.
Okay. So what are the different kinds of infrastructure needed for different varieties of crop?
The infrastructure is same, whether you produce banana or you produce lemon or you produce rootstock. The hardware is same. It's only the production know-how varies with the product.
Okay.
Which I mean media components, growth hormone combination, light and temperature requirement, the acclimatization procedures. These are the process which varies from product to product.
Okay. So is there, taste difference between the traditionally grown and the tissue culture bananas?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
They taste as good as the traditional banana.
Okay. So what are the crops which are high risk crops for tissue culture during the initial stage of lab establishment?
Please repeat your question.
What are the crops which are high risk crops for tissue culture during the initial stage of lab establishment? During the initial stage, if someone want to establish a lab, what are the crops which has high risk for tissue culture?
High risk crops are the crop where there is a great seasonality are difficult, like temperate fruit plants or potato, they are difficult.
Okay. So which are the tissue culture plants which are high in demand?
As such, all plants are in a good demand, provided it ensures the availability at right time and of right quality. Horticultural plants at the moment are in good demand, but medicinal, forestry and ornamental plant will also gradually will have their demand.
Okay. So what are the other crops or vegetables that can be grown with tissue culture?
Actually, it is mentioned in our website.
Okay.
The other vegetable that one can think of would be a watermelon or capsicum.
Okay. Sir, please type in your
Cucumber.
website name in chat box.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah.
hmm? One minute. Yes, I've done.
So our members also wants to know which is the most profitable one apart from bananas.
It's difficult to say. For example, date palm seems to be very profitable
Okay.
because date palm sells at the price of 3,000 rupees a piece, a plant.
Okay. So what are the challenges in tissue culture lab establishment which a person should be prepared for?
Manpower plan and production plan. Getting the right quality of people to do the job and production according to the season is the most challenging thing.
Okay. And so do you provide support to a person? I mean, if somebody wants to put an lab, do you provide them any consultation?
Yes, we do provide. But as I told you, the size of the project should be such that uh, should become a viable. And as I told you, 1 to 2 million production capacity is a viable
Okay.
thing. Smaller volume is not viable.
Okay. Members, do you have further questions? So do you give any training on this?
No, training we don't provide. We provide consultancy on a turnkey basis,
Okay.
which
Are,
includes training.
are there any training centers if one wants to get training, they can get on it?
Yes, Department of Biotechnology has established several places, the training center located in various universities. So one can take up the training in such places.
Okay. So may we know your consultancy charges?
We charge 10% of the project fee.
Okay. Members, any further questions? Okay. So please share your contact number also. If somebody wants to contact you for the consultation, they can contact you.
Sure, I'll type it.
Yeah. Okay. Members, you can contact Prashant Bhatt on the given numbers. I repeat the numbers: 9199-250-28616, or you can contact him on 99-250-28620. And if the audience has any further questions, please visit agricultureinformation.com under online education in webinar thread. And under this link, you can also post your questions in the forum and continue the discussion directly with Mr. Prashant. I request all our members, please spare a minute and fill the form on today's talk. And I would also like to inform recording of this talk will be uploaded in webinar thread of our discussion forum. I would like to thank everyone for attending this webinar. This is an event organized by agricultureinformation.com. Please visit our webinar thread under the online education section for updates on forthcoming events. I would like to thank Mr. Prashant Bhatt, who has given us the most important information on tissue culture, and I would also like to thank audience for joining us. Thank you, Mr. Prashant.
I thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Yeah, thank you. And
Please.
I'll be closing this meeting
Most
now.
welcome.
Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.